Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the Plum Goodness's 10% niacinamide in rice water serum. Before we proceed and talk about the actual product, I'd like to mention a few facts about niacinamide. Niacinamide belongs to vitamin B group. This is vitamin B3 to be exact. It is a water-soluble vitamin, so you can find this in various non-oily formulations. The natural pH of niacinamide is around 5 to 7, which is very close to the natural pH of our skin. And this is why this ingredient, niacinamide, is often said to be very non-irritating for the skin. Very briefly, let me list out the major benefits that niacinamide has for the skin. Remember, it is a very potent and effective ingredient when used on a regular basis. First, it's a very potent antioxidant. Second, it's a nice anti-inflammatory, so it also helps with rosacea. Third, it evens out skin tone, so it helps with melasma. Fourth, it reduces transepidermal water loss, also known as TEWL. It does so by upregulating the ceramide synthesis, which binds the superficial cells of the skin together. Therefore, it also helps with the skin people who are prone to having eczematous skin. It has a proven anti-aging effect by boosting collagen synthesis, and it also reduces the pigment accumulation in cells that often happens with aging. And it also reduces the production of oil or sebum in the skin, so people who have acne prone skin can benefit from it. And final, it also helps with fine lines and wrinkles. This one single ingredient is jam packed with goodness, just that you should know how to use it properly and regularly. Basically, these were the major benefits which are seen with niacinamide when it is used on a regular basis. You can actually mix niacinamide with a lot of active ingredients that you might be using in your daily routine. For example, you can mix niacinamide with vitamin C, you can mix niacinamide with retinoids, you can mix it with hyaluronic acid and a lot of more active ingredients. In fact, I basically use niacinamide and vitamin C in combination on a daily basis. Let me know if you want me to make a dedicated video on niacinamide where I can discuss the medical aspects or dermatology related aspects of niacinamide. Niacinamide is not a new ingredient, but I don't know, for some reason it has recently gained some major OG hype in the beauty industry. Anyways, coming back to the product, let me go through the claims very quickly. It says it's meant for all skin types, it's non-comedogenic. This clever concoction of niacinamide, rice ferment, licorice and squalane is designed to target spots, boost skin barrier health, soothe acne and protect against sun damage. The rice water ferment extract, also known as sake, used in this formula is sourced from Japan and derived using an exclusive Japanese technique. Alright. The Plum niacinamide serum comes in a frosted glass bottle. It has all the details mentioned about the product and the packaging itself. The outer packaging also has a complete list of ingredients, which is amazing. Special mention, they've actually mentioned the percentage of the active ingredient used in the product, so you know how much of the ingredient are you exactly putting on your skin. Plum's niacinamide serum comes in two different sizes, 15 ml and 30 ml. 15 ml costs rupees 450, which is around rupees 30 per ml. And this one, the 30 ml bottle, comes at a cost of rupees 790, which means it costs 26 rupees per ml. So this is more cost effective. In case you plan on using this on a regular basis, this will definitely be more cost effective for you. Now, speaking of the ingredients, like always, I'll divide my ingredients in three different categories. First, primary category would be the active ingredients. Second, secondary category would be supportive ingredients, and the tertiary category would be ingredients that do no good for our skin. Speaking of the active ingredients first, the active ingredients, of course, in this product is niacinamide in a concentration of 10%. Niacinamide, I'd like to mention that most clinical studies done around this ingredient have been done with its concentration of about 2 to 5%. But in the market, when we go and see niacinamide, it's usually available in a concentration of 10%. I don't know why. I would never recommend anyone going above a concentration of 10% as far as niacinamide is concerned, because a concentration of 15 to 20% can actually do more harm than good. Remember, more is not always better. Sometimes enough is enough. And I think with niacinamide, even 2 to 5% concentration is pretty good, and never go above 10%. Speaking of the secondary or supportive ingredients, let's talk about the rice extract or rice ferment first. Sake, which is also known as rice wine in Japan, I think there have been very limited studies done around this ingredient, and they show some anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, although in the beauty industry they're believed to have numerous benefits for the skin, like lightening dark spots, anti-aging, etc, etc. And second supportive ingredient we're talking about is Suolane, which is used in a concentration of 5%. Suolane is a non-comedogenic oil formulation which mimics the natural oils on our skin. I've seen a lot of people say that Suolane is an antioxidant, but remember, Suolane is not an antioxidant. Third supportive ingredient in this product is caffeine in a concentration of 1%. Caffeine is honestly one of my favorite ingredients in skincare because it not only helps with puffiness and acts on cellulite and stuff, it also is a very potent anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and it also helps with sun damage. Now let's talk about the tertiary ingredients, or the ingredients that do no good to our skin. First is sodium gluconate, which basically is a chelating agent that holds the different molecules together. Second is acrylates copolymer, which basically increases the viscosity of a solution and probably also stabilizes an emulsion. This ingredient is okay for use on the skin when formulated properly. And then I think there is benzyl alcohol, acetophenone, capryl glycol, polyglycerol olivate, cyclodextrin. These are all straight up preservatives. Remember, acrylates copolymer and sodium acrylates copolymer, these two ingredients are said to be safe in a serum or a skincare products when they are formulated properly. Now let's talk about application. Like I mentioned before, niacinamide is basically compatible with almost all the active ingredients that we use on a regular basis, like vitamin C, retinoids, hyaluronic acid, AHA, BHA, peptides or ceramides, etc. Because it is photostable, you can use it at night, you can use it during the day, anytime you want. Don't apply it with like dots and stuff. Apply it all over your face and neck for maximum benefits. So remember, if you layer your skincare, then always go from lighter consistency to heavier consistency. For example, use your essence first and then maybe serum, moisturizer, facial oil, like that, from lighter to denser. Never ever put a denser product first and then put a lighter product, because it basically won't be able to penetrate or do anything to your skin. So always go from lighter to denser. I apply my vitamin C and then I layer the serum on top of my vitamin C, because my vitamin C has a thinner consistency as compared to this one. This one actually has a slightly viscous consistency. Once I apply it, it makes my skin look dewy and glowy because of the moisturizing ingredients present in the serum. Remember, niacinamide needs time to work. So once you have applied a niacinamide serum, don't expect overnight results. Niacinamide serums take time to work. At least give it a go for at least say 6 to 8 weeks before you actually start noticing positive effects on your skin. The temporary glowy and dewy results that these serums give are because of the moisturizing ingredients present in the serum. The active ingredients definitely need time to work on your skin. I've been using this serum for about 3 weeks now. I can definitely say that serum definitely has a brightening effect on the skin and also clears out the complexion to some certain extent, because I usually get a lot of blemishes around my nose area, and since I've been using this serum, my blemishes have cleared out pretty much completely. At the beginning of the month, I was having some hormonal breakouts on my skin, mostly on my cheek area, and this serum has definitely helped with breakouts as well. It's never caused any irritation on my skin, and in fact, whenever I use niacinamide serums on a daily basis, my breakouts are in control. Even around that time of the month, I don't tend to break out as much whenever I use a niacinamide serum on a regular basis. In addition, my T-zone area, which behaves like an oil factory sometimes, it doesn't get as oily as it would normally do whenever I'm using a niacinamide serum. Also, do a patch test behind your ear whenever you start using this serum, because besides niacinamide, this contains other ingredients as well. All skin types can benefit from niacinamide, and I'm really happy that Plum's coming out with active ingredient-centric products. So far, I've tried the vitamin C serum, which worked pretty decent on my skin. This one is great. I've also been trying out their 2% hyaluronic acid serum, which I'll be reviewing shortly, and then I've also been trying out their 1% retinol serum, which again I'll be reviewing shortly. So far, their active ingredients based serums have worked pretty good on my skin. So the serum ultimately stands true to almost all of its claims. Speaking of the cons, well, I do have to mention one thing. This serum has acrylate copolymer and sodium acrylates copolymer. These two ingredients are broadly safe, but they are deemed safe when formulated to avoid irritation, right? And that just makes me go a little I mean, if they could have formulated this without these two ingredients, wouldn't it have been awesome? Anyways, still it's a very beautiful serum and it works amazing on the skin. And I would basically recommend the serum to all skin types. Now let's compare the Plum's 10% niacinamide and rice water serum with the Ordinary's 10% niacinamide and zinc serum. First, let's talk about the similarities. They both come in a frosted glass bottle. Both contains 10% niacinamide as active ingredient. Both have a dropper dispenser. And then both formulas are formulated without sulfates, parabens, essential oils, and fragrance as well. These both of them are fragrance free. Also, both of these serums are vegan and cruelty free. Now, coming to the differences between these two serums, the Ordinary serum, it has 10% niacinamide with 1% of zinc. I feel like the Ordinary's formula would be better for people with acne or comedogenic skin, basically because zinc is a powerful ingredient against acne. I feel like the Plum's formula with 10% niacinamide and rice water extracts plus sualene and caffeine, this would be more of an antioxidant rich formula. Don't get me wrong, both would work great as as an antioxidant and would help with acne and stuff, but based on the ingredient, I feel like one has a slight edge over the other. So based on what results you want, if you have an option for both, you can choose accordingly. Now the second difference, the Ordinary has zinc PCA, which is believed to be a strong antimicrobial and also helps with sun damage. In Plum, they have rice ferment and rice extracts, which are believed to be helpful in evening out the skin tone. Also, they have caffeine as an ingredient, which also has antioxidant properties and also helps with sun damage. Apart from these two major differences, I feel like the Ordinary has a slightly shorter ingredients list. The Plum Goodness's niacinamide serum has a broader ingredients list, including a lot of natural extracts. Also, remember this has hyaluronic acid and vitamin E as well as ingredients. So if it matters, the Ordinary serum looks slightly more transparent and is slightly less viscous as compared to this one. This one looks almost white and is slightly more viscous as compared to this one. But remember, both of them sit comfortably on the skin and both can be worn under makeup as well. Before I forget, one last difference, the Ordinary serum feels a little tacky post application on the skin, but then that's not the case with this serum. Plum's niacinamide serum actually leaves the skin feeling very soft and dewy. This is the reason why I like this one slightly better than the Ordinaries. I think that is all that I had to mention about these two serums. Please take a moment to subscribe to my channel because that encourages me to make more and better videos. If you have anything that you'd like to tell me, any questions or suggestions or anything, or even if you want to say hi, please comment and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So yeah, take care. Bye.